Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside your body? Right now, as you read this, trillions of tiny events are happening. It's like a massive, bustling city. Workers building, workers cleaning, workers powering everything. But who are these workers? They are enzymes. The processes they run are called metabolism. It might sound complicated, but it's the very science of how you are, well, you. So, what exactly is an enzyme? Imagine you have a giant pile of logs and you need to break them all into small pieces for a campfire. You could do it by hand, but it would take forever. Now what if you had a super fast, super efficient axe? That axe would make the job go thousands of times faster. Well, in your body, enzymes are like that super fast axe. They are special proteins that speed up chemical reactions. Without them, the reactions needed to keep you alive would be so slow they might as well not be happening at all. They are catalysts, which is a sciencey way of saying they get the job done fast. Each enzyme is a specialist. It has a very specific job to do. Think of a lock and a key. An enzyme has a special shape called an active site that fits perfectly with the molecule it needs to work on, which is called a substrate. Just like only one key can open a specific lock, only one type of enzyme can work on a specific substrate. This is called specificity. It's how your body makes sure that the right reactions happen in the right place at the right time. Your body is incredibly organized, and enzymes are the managers making sure everything runs smoothly and on schedule. Let's look at some examples. When you eat starchy food like bread or potatoes, an enzyme called amylase gets to work. Amylase is found in your saliva and your small intestine. Its job is to break down complex carbohydrates or starches into simple sugars that your body can use for energy. Another great example is lipase. Lipase is the enzyme that tackles fats. It breaks down the lipids in things like cheese or oil into smaller fatty acids. And then there's a really important one called DNA polymerase. Its job is to build and repair your DNA, the instruction manual in every one of your cells. It's a master builder, copying your genetic code with amazing speed and accuracy. So enzymes are the ultimate workers of your body. They are protein powerhouses that speed up life's chemical reactions. They don't get used up in the process. They just do their job and then move on to the next molecule, ready to work again and again. They build things up, they break things down, and they keep the entire city of your body running 24/7. From digesting your lunch to copying your DNA, enzymes are the tiny, powerful heroes doing all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Without them, life as we know it simply wouldn't be possible. Now here's where things get really cool. Many enzymes are supposed to stay inside specific cells. Finding them in your blood can be a huge clue for doctors. Imagine you see a baker in full uniform with flour all over them wandering around in a library. You'd think something's not right. The baker should be in the bakery. Doctors think the same about enzymes in blood. It means cells might be damaged and leaking. Heart muscle cells have special enzymes. One is called troponin. Normally, very little troponin is in blood. If heart cells are damaged, they release troponin into the bloodstream. Someone with chest pain goes to the ER. Doctors run a troponin blood test. High troponin levels equal strong sign of a heart attack, a chemical signal of distress from the heart. The pancreas makes digestive enzymes, amylase, lipase. Normally they go into the small intestine. If the pancreas is inflamed, pancreatitis, enzymes can leak into blood. Severe abdominal pain makes a doctor suspect pancreatitis. A blood test showing very high amylase and lipase can confirm it, like the pancreas sending a chemical SOS. Liver function tests check enzymes, ALT, AST. If the liver is damaged, these leak out and rise in blood. Measuring these proteins gives doctors a snapshot of organs without surgery. Doctors become detectives, piecing clues to solve medical mysteries and save lives. It's all biochemistry in action. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. Metabolism. If enzymes are the workers, then metabolism is the entire factory operation. Put simply, metabolism is the sum of all the chemical reactions that happen in your body to keep you alive. It's a constant dynamic process of building things up and breaking things down. It's how your body manages its energy and material resources. Every second, countless reactions are turning food into fuel, fuel into energy, energy into action. It's the engine that runs the incredible machine that is you. Metabolism can be split into two main sides, like two sides of a coin. The first side is called catabolism. This is the breaking down part. Think of it like a demolition crew. Catabolism takes large, complex molecules from the food you eat and breaks them down into smaller, simpler pieces: carbohydrates, fats, proteins. As these chemical bonds are broken, energy is released. This is the primary way your body gets the power it needs for everything it does. Digesting your food is a perfect example of catabolism in action, breaking a big meal into tiny, usable parts. The other side of the coin is called anabolism. This is the building up part. Think of it as the construction crew. Anabolism takes those small, simple pieces that catabolism produced and uses them, along with energy, to build large, complex molecules that your body needs. Build muscle from protein, store extra energy as fat, create new cells to repair a cut on your finger. Anabolism is all about growth and maintenance. So, your body breaks down food to get energy. But how does that happen exactly? It's not like a tiny fire burning inside your cells. Instead, it's more like a highly efficient, multi-step assembly line. This process is called cellular respiration. 3 main stages extract maximum energy from one glucose molecule. It happens in almost every one of your cells, all the time. The first step is glycolysis. It happens in the cytoplasm. Glyco, sugar, lysis, splitting. A 6-carbon glucose splits into 2 3-carbon molecules. Glycolysis makes a tiny bit of energy, but starts the process. It's the first worker on the assembly line, preparing material for the next station. Next up, the Krebs cycle, or citric acid cycle. This happens in the mitochondria. Molecules from glycolysis enter the mitochondria and join the cycle. Think of it as a spinning wheel. As molecules cycle, they're broken down more, releasing more energy. Carbon atoms are stripped off and released as CO2. That CO2 is the same gas you breathe out. The Krebs cycle processes sugars, parts of fats, and proteins. The final, most powerful stage is oxidative phosphorylation in the mitochondria. This is the big energy payoff. Energy released earlier in glycolysis and in the Krebs cycle is used here to make a massive amount of the cell's energy currency. This stage uses oxygen, the oxygen you breathe in. This is why oxygen is vital. Without it, the final step would shut down, and our cells would quickly run out of power. Together, these 3 stages turn one molecule of sugar into a whole lot of usable energy. We've been talking a lot about energy, but what is it really? In your body, the main energy currency isn't money. It's a special molecule called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short. Think of ATP as a tiny, fully charged, rechargeable battery. When a cell needs to do work, like contract a muscle, send a nerve signal, build a new protein, it doesn't use glucose or fat directly. Instead, it spends a molecule of ATP. It's the universal power source that every part of your body understands and uses. How does it work? ATP has a chain of 3 phosphate groups. The bonds holding these phosphates together are very high energy. When the cell needs power, an enzyme breaks off the last phosphate group. Snap! This releases a burst of usable energy, just like unplugging a cord from a wall socket provides power to a device. What's left is a partially drained battery called ADP, or adenosine diphosphate, with only 2 phosphates. This process is simple, fast, and happens millions of times per second in every cell. Now, your body can't just keep making new ATP from scratch all the time. That would be very wasteful. Instead, it recharges the ADP. This is where metabolism comes in. The whole point of cellular respiration, glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation is to generate the energy needed to stick that 3rd phosphate group back onto ADP, turning it back into a fully charged ATP molecule. Biochemistry can feel like learning a new language with lots of new words, but we can make it easier with some simple tricks. Let's create a quick and memorable guide for the main biomolecules. Think of them as the different building materials and tools in your body's construction site. Knowing what each one does is a huge step toward understanding the bigger picture of metabolism and health. Let's make it easy to remember. First up, carbohydrates. Think carbs for quick energy. Carbohydrates are your body's primary fast-acting fuel source. When you eat bread, pasta, or fruit, you're loading up on sugars and starches. Your body quickly breaks them down into glucose, which can be immediately used in glycolysis to start making ATP. Next, proteins. Think proteins for performing and building. Proteins are the most versatile molecules, the workers, the messengers, the structural building blocks. Enzymes, which perform all the chemical reactions, are proteins. Then we have lipids, or fats. Think lipids for long-term storage and linings. Lipids are your body's long-term energy reserve and essential for building cell membranes. Finally, let's not forget the others. Nucleic acids like DNA, RNA. Think nucleic acids for blueprints and instructions. Enzymes are the expediters, speeding everything up. And ATP is the accessible tiny power pack, the ready-to-use energy for everything. The principles of biochemistry aren't just facts in a textbook. They are the tools doctors use every day to understand and treat diseases. Let's look at some real-world clinical examples. Take diabetes, for instance. In a healthy person, insulin helps cells take in glucose from the blood to use for energy. In diabetes, that process is broken. The result is high blood sugar. Doctors use biochemistry to design medications that help manage glucose. Patients also learn dietary strategies to control blood sugar. Consider liver and kidney function tests. The liver is a metabolic superstar. It processes nutrients. It detoxifies chemicals. It makes important proteins. The kidneys are expert filters, removing waste from your blood. Lab tests measure bilirubin, a red blood cell breakdown product handled by the liver. Lab tests also measure creatinine, a muscle metabolism waste cleared by kidneys. Damaged liver or kidney cells change blood levels of these substances. A doctor seeing high creatinine suspects the kidneys aren't filtering well. Lab tests are a direct window into organ function. Genetic disorders are another place biochemistry matters. Many genetic diseases start with a mutation in a single gene. That mutation often affects one enzyme. Take phenylketonuria, PKU. People with PKU lack the enzyme that breaks down phenylalanine. Phenylalanine then builds up and can cause severe brain damage. We screen newborns with a simple blood test for PKU. Treatment is a special low phenylalanine diet. Even vitamin deficiencies come down to biochemistry. Vitamins are cofactors, helpers enzymes need. Many B vitamins are essential in the Krebs cycle. Without them, cellular energy production stalls and you get fatigue. Vitamin C is required for an enzyme that makes collagen. Without it, scurvy develops. Tissues fall apart. Knowing these roles lets doctors diagnose deficiencies and recommend the right vitamins. So, as we've seen, biochemistry is not just some abstract science. It is the very essence of life, happening inside of you and all around you. It's in the food you eat. It's in the air you breathe. It's in every single action you take. The crispness of an apple is biochemistry. The energy you feel after a good meal is biochemistry. The healing of a scraped knee is a beautiful, complex symphony of biochemical reactions. Understanding it gives you an incredible appreciation for the complexity and elegance of the human body. It connects the dots between what you eat and how you feel. It connects the dots between a genetic code and a human being. For anyone pursuing a career in medicine, mastering biochemistry is not optional. It is fundamental. It is the language of health and disease. When a medical student learns about the Krebs cycle, they aren't just memorizing steps. They are learning why oxygen is vital and what happens when energy production fails in a heart attack. When they study enzymes, they are preparing to one day look at a patient's lab results and see not just numbers, but a story about that person's health. It provides the why behind the symptoms. It provides the why behind the diseases. It provides the why behind the treatments. It's the foundation upon which all other medical knowledge is built. Pharmacology, pathology, endocrinology, genetics. Every field of medicine is deeply rooted in the principles of biochemistry. It's the common thread that ties all of medicine together into a coherent whole. We'll meet the key players, like enzymes, and understand the rulebook they follow. Metabolism. This isn't just for scientists in white lab coats, it's for everyone who wants to understand their own body. It's the instruction manual for being alive. This journey is incredibly important, especially for anyone interested in medicine. Doctors, nurses, medical students use this knowledge every single day. When they look at your blood test results, they are reading a story written in the language of biochemistry. They look for clues about your health in the levels of different molecules and enzymes. Understanding this language helps them figure out what's wrong and how to help you get better. It's like being a detective. The mystery is inside the human body and the clues are chemicals. So let's get ready to unlock some of medicine's greatest secrets. We're going to break it all down, step by step. We'll explore how tiny molecules do such big jobs and why they are the foundation of health and medicine. By the end, you'll see that biochemistry isn't some far-off scary subject. It is the amazing, dynamic, essential science of life itself. It's happening in you, right now. Let's go explore. Consider this. Science is the key to understanding the world, and biochemistry is the key to understanding ourselves. It requires energy to work, the very energy that catabolism released. So you can see how they are perfectly balanced. This balance between catabolism and anabolism is essential for health. When you exercise, you are using energy, which is catabolism, and afterward, your body repairs and builds your muscles, which is anabolism. When you eat, you provide the raw materials for both processes. Understanding this fundamental concept, the constant breaking down and building up, is the first step to understanding how your body works as a whole, integrated system. It's the rhythm of life itself. We'll meet the key players, like enzymes, and understand the rulebook they follow, metabolism. This isn't just for scientists in white lab coats, it's for everyone who wants to understand their own body. It's the instruction manual for being alive. This journey is incredibly important, especially for anyone interested in medicine. Doctors, nurses, medical students use this knowledge every single day. When they look at your blood test results, they are reading a story written in the language of biochemistry. They look for clues about your health in the levels of different molecules and enzymes. Understanding this language helps them figure out what's wrong and how to help you get better. It's like being a detective. The mystery is inside the human body and the clues are chemicals. So let's get ready to unlock some of medicine's greatest secrets. We're going to break it all down, step by step. We'll explore how tiny molecules do such big jobs and why they are the foundation of health and medicine. So, whether you plan to be a doctor, a scientist, or just a curious human being who wants to know how your own body works, take a moment to appreciate the amazing, invisible chemical factory inside you. Because that factory is working hard, right now, to make you, you. And that is pretty amazing. Science. Biochemistry is not just about reactions and formulas, it's about life itself. If you master this subject, every other branch of medicine becomes easier.